Real talk. No bull. Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.
Yo, what up? How's it going? A little intro there. I was just rapping before, so just keeping that flow.
Freestyling.
So what? Hey, episode 14. Welcome everybody. We're back for another evening of Real Talk No Bull. We got Brodie, the wellness guy, with us tonight. Welcome, Brodie.
Hey man, how you going?
Yeah, good man, good. We are good. How are you tonight, Braden?
Surviving, not thriving,
Yeah, wow. You got out of bed this morning.
unfortunately. No, we're doing good. We're doing good, mate. Kicking
man.
goals here.
Yep.
Just one day at a time.
That's good, man. That's all you can do sometimes.
That's it.
Yeah, you don't need to try any more than that. Sometimes just that's enough.
Yeah. Just see out the day and be better tomorrow.
I like explaining my situation sometimes as I'm just at capacity.
Mm.
I'm at capacity. I can't take on anymore.
Mm.
I
I like to look at myself as a duck.
A duck.
Sometimes I look calm on the surface, but my feet are fucking kicking underneath that water,
yeah.
mate.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah,
Nice.
enough about us. More about you.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Good to be back.
Yeah. Now, just for the listeners and the viewers, this is actually round 2 with Brodie.
Boss.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical issues on our last cast, and so we managed to. Well, we just figured we'd just pull it all together, and so we're going to try again tonight, and I'm sure it'll be just as spectacular. Yeah,
It's still good to have all three of us have a yarn as well.
that's right, man.
Yeah, it was
that's
good.
right.
You guys get to experience that, and I think
That's right.
I was only coming and driving here today, and I was speaking to my wife, and we're like, "Was there things you probably didn't want to say?" I'm like, "Yeah." So, well, it's probably good that it didn't air. So it's like it comes to the point of like, what needs to be said will be said, and what doesn't need to be shared to the masses, it won't. So I always see it as a blessing. So, I'm really excited to talk about tonight. And anytime I get a chance to talk on a podcast around like men's mental health and just about like, real talk, no bull. As I said many times when I first met you guys, I was like, fuck, there's a lot of podcasts talking about their program, their services, how good they are. No one's really talking about the no bullshit approach. And sometimes, as you said, mate, like life can be really shit. And people love authenticity, and that's how I built my brand up to nearly 3,500 followers. No ads, no VAs, just me sharing my story from illness to wellness, then back to illness, and I'm just me sharing my story about what it's like being a dad, working in the NDIS, sharing all my story to the world, and people rip shit on you too, and think
That's right.
Fuck them.
yeah. So it's a lesson, right? It's a lesson
fuck
that
'em.
only you know your story, and I think that's the biggest thing. I definitely will share more tonight about is just owning your story, and everyone else, they go, "Oh yeah, I've got depression. Yeah, I've got anxiety. I've got that too." It's just like, well, we've all got different parts of it, and we all got different survival skills.
That's right. And yeah, I mean, I guess what we like and what we've kind of, we're 14 episodes deep now, and we've kind of come to this realization that we like to have zero structure with these. This is literally a conversation. We're sitting at a bar. You sit at a bar and you have a conversation with your mates, and that's the kind of approach that we like. And I think
Sometimes, sorry, mate.
No, you're all right.
Just
Go
fucking
for
jump right in there. But sometimes it's like you meet that random at the bar you know nothing about, and you go, "Holy shit, did I just have a conversation with that dude?" So like you said, a no bullshit approach.
Yeah.
The less is more.
Yeah. And I kind of find sometimes because in the first few episodes, we kind of had it quite well structured. We had questions thought out, planned out. And
It's good as well too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all part of the learning, it's all part of the learning. But I think over the course of the last few months of doing these things, it's like we've just found that just having an unfiltered, unscripted kind of, non-thought out conversation is a lot better for these types of things, because it just allows the flow, it allows you to be able to flow wherever you want to go.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this in the other episode, and now the viewers can hear it. This is like my personal PA or the HR team of my company would hate me because if I ever go, I've been on Current Affair and I've shared my story on Channel 9 and Newsmail in Bundaberg, and all my story got absolutely misguided, misworded, all those things. And I kind of knew that, but I just did my best to do those things, but you're gonna you can't fuck it up. You can't fuck it up being you. And as soon as you get to that power, and it takes time, until you know who you are and why you're here, and my famous metaphor and quote that I love is just the two best parts of life is knowing when you're born and knowing why you're here.
We've got some possums in the background. Sorry, man.
Thanks, kids. That's recording. It doesn't matter.
And that's
Sorry,
perfect. Mate. No need to apologize. It's as I said, the day you were born and the day you found out why. And I'm 30 now, and I hit this spot. Since becoming a dad and all this other stuff happened, I really go, fuck, I'm proud of myself. I've been in hospital with my client last couple of weeks, dealing with social workers, dealing with doctors, junior doctors, all these wanky names, and I'm holding my own and telling them, this is actually not the right approach for this client. And I'm like, yeah, this is a guy that went to special education unit school, told he's going to be a tradie, didn't going to amount to much. I've lived with my learning disability for a long, long time, living with all these diagnoses that they've given me because they get government money and drugs and all the fun things. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't need a degree and I don't need a name to be proud of myself. And these last couple of weeks, I've really just looked in the mirror and I said, God, I love you, Brodie. You're a fucking top bloke and you're doing God's work. So any chance I get to share my story, it's really beautiful, and I get to share different parts because everyone doesn't know where I've come from. They just see what they want to see. And of course, when people have a highlight reel and he's like, oh, you're always on holidays, you're at Movie World, they don't see the hard nights, the tough nights, the scraping by.
That's it, Yeah, that's the problem with social media, though.
Yeah,
is that it's just a projection of what people want you to see, right? It's taking all the good bits out of the book, and so I quite like it when people are a little bit more real on social media. So yeah, it's it's good, man. It's good. And so in terms of what you're doing now, explain to us what you're doing now.
Yeah.
What is it? You were just in hospital with a client?
Yep.
What kind of parameters is that?
Yeah, so I got my own NDIS business at the moment. So I'm a sole trader, and I've been in the industry 10 years. So I've just worked for different companies. Right now, I'm in the phase of getting my more private clients so I can step away from company clients. So I work 7 days a week. It is a hard slog. I do not glorify the hustle. I used to think, I got to work more, earn more. It's about building those principles, building those boundaries, and having a better relationship with money. That's what I'm learning at the moment. So I support clients with psychosocial disabilities, so alongside borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety. I'm dealing with complex things of in and out of mental health hospitals, and it's just it's really healing for me because I get to support clients that were once me, and I get to change that story, and I get to heal every day because I get to walk alongside someone and go, there's a better way here. So I love what I do. Generally love what I do. It's I find it challenging now coming home, and I've got a daughter, and my wife's gone through her own health conditions, and being a man of integrity and saying what you're going to say and try to grow this other business and try to see friends. And I'm like, hang on, I work 7:15 to 10:15 and then 4 to 7. Hang on, get this podcast. Okay. You just make it work. And what I've learned, and I want to share this with the listeners and share this tonight, is you either find a way or you find an excuse. You can go angry at me at the comments. I'll go angry back at you nicely, maybe not. But at the end of the day, if you really want it, you'll find a way.
Of course.
If not, you don't want it bad enough. And I think for me, I didn't want to be successful. I was just really enjoying being a victim of my own story. And it takes a lot of guts to say that because a lot of people just love going, I'm fucked up. I hate my life. I've had this story before. I lived with my family and friends, and it was just, when you talk to a friend and they have this same problem and you give them that same advice, but they're not taking it on. And there's no respect, if there's all love and respect to the person, but it comes down to you're actually disempowering them if you're letting them sit in their shit. You go, hey mate, you've said this for the last 6 months. What have you done about it?
Yeah, they love to loathe in that.
And there's time to listen and be seen and heard in that. But for me, it was always going to the next thing, and people go, oh, Brodie, that's, this and this. I'm like, no, it's not. The body remembers why we feel like shit. So I'm really passionate about that as well. Of like, yes, their mental health is, I think, 1 in 3 now. I think we lose about. I did a suicide prevention training about last week. It's really, really good by Wesley Mission, fantastic company, and it was talking about the stigma of men, and men are still up there with women. And these are people that make the stats, right? And you know all the fatalities with the fatalities, always mix them up. That's a classic little blooper there. I always fuck it up. But yeah, I find it really interesting, the car crashes. You know, Andrew Simon's driving 120 Ks in a straight road and then he runs into a tree. Was that an accident? Like when people die and they don't actually say he just died of natural causes. No, he died from suicide. Media doesn't want to talk about it.
That's right.
But then they smash a lot of money to the government going, we care about suicide prevention. Here's Are You OK Day and 1 day suicide prevention. And then everyone else is dicks for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's like in NZ. There's more deaths by suicide than there is road toll and drownings combined in NZ.
That's huge.
But
I talked about it. I don't really hear about it. Hey?
But they don't talk about it. And but there's massive campaigns to slow people down on the road. There's massive campaigns around water safety and, you know, learning how to swim because, you know, you live on a little island and you know more than 127 kilometers from the ocean. And so, but there's, you know, New Zealand men are like one of the highest represented in terms of suicide. And then it's actually New Zealand Māori men are the highest represented within the men category too. And so on average, New Zealand loses around about 600 to 700 men a year via suicide. And that's for a small nation of 5.5 million people. You know what I mean? And that doesn't count the women in there too. And some of those stats go down as low as, I think, 12 or 14 years old. And so, yeah, it's a tough one, especially when there's no, like, because the media fears copycats. And so that's why they don't say anything. But it's kind of like, well, that's a real pandemic that our societies and communities face. It's not some fucking flu. It's not, you know, it's not all these other things. It's suicide. And Australia's high up there too in terms of the numbers. I mean, you guys have got a massive population here. And it's it's you know, even with all of this awareness and all of this, you know, and we're now coming to a point in society where there is a lot more awareness.
Oh yeah.
But
sometimes too much, to be honest, as well.
Yeah.
Into it to people. And I'm curious as well. I want to ask you both this question because it came to me when we were in the debriefing room. Like when you hear the word suicide, do you feel what comes up for you when you hear it? Do you find it such like a tough word, or like, you know, when you hear like rape or torture, your nervous system goes like 9 times out of 10 people go, oh, that's a heavy word. But
like the word moist.
Moist, yeah, moist-eyed. I kind of cringed on that in the hospital. But like, does anything come up for you, both men, when you hear suicide, or is it just you kind of used to the word?
Used to the word.
Yeah. I'm used to the word because I've had 2 best mates, 3 other friends, and an uncle take their lives since I was 17. And so for me, a lot of my life has revolved around that since then. You know, like I went through my own bullshit after my first mate took his life. And, you know, I was heavily depressed, not really even knowing what depression was at that point in time. You know, this is early 2000s when there wasn't really any emphasis on any of that for men in general. And then, you know, as I went through life, it was kind of like I kind of found that I kind of needed to talk about it. I needed to be the one that started these conversations. And so that's what I started doing. And so for me, and then it was kind of like you start losing more friends and you're losing more friends. And it's like, why the fuck are people still taking their life when people know that there's all this support out there, but it still happens. And it's like the ones who do it, they're never the ones that say anything, or they're never the ones that you would think are the ones that are going to do it. And they just do it. Yeah. And so it's that's the hard part about it too, because you've got to read between these invisible lines with people, and how do you know? You know.
We talked about that in a survey when we did this Wesley Mission thing, but also as well, I was reading a post today. It's about voluntary in dying. It's been passed now in I think every state in Queensland or in Australia. This guy was a real estate agent or some marketing in Melbourne. He's quite well known, and he had cancer, and then just came back, and then he went to the beach, and they gave him some juice, and then his organs just collapsed, and all the comments were like, "How could you do that to yourself and leave a family?" But hang on, like that was his choice, and I've worked in disability and mental health, and I've seen people die in front of my own eyes. If you got to think of the quality of life.
That's right.
He made a decision, just like anyone else if wanted to take their life. He made a decision saying, I had a really good life. My family would see me like skin and bones, and I want to go. So I think there's a really interesting momentum shift. And I want to share that a little piece because it's not just all doom and gloom. Like some people, when their time is up, their time is up. And I think the more people have these conversations around suicide and voluntary dying and death, because fuck, I know this right now. My mum's turning 60 in October. My dad is on the full NDIS in a wheelchair, right? My wife has this condition called FND, functional neurological disorder, where no one really knows about it or talks about it. It's just something that just eats your nervous system, has seizures, impacts her job, can't work at the moment, and can't drive. 30 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm like, people go, oh man, you know, you're so fucking strong, and you fucking got all this going. They walk a fucking mile in my sketches. They're really fucking comfy.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't fucking last a minute. These people that go, oh, you know, you're fucking spoon fed. And I get all this shit all the time. And I laugh because they're just projecting their own shit on me. So I just, you know, eat my popcorn and, you know, it depends what day it is. And I'll clickbait or I'll just let it go to the keeper. But at the end of the day, like, that's why you have to be kind. If there's a guy who looks fucking scary, go have a chat to him because he's probably being judged all his life because he looks like a fucking criminal.
Yeah.
Right? I do that all the time. If I get scared about someone, first conversation, I'm having a chat with him. Hopefully he doesn't stab me. All jokes aside, we all joke here. You just don't know. Like the confident ones like myself, I need to be the first one to be fucking checked on because I'm the loudest. I'm always helping people. I do it for a job. I do it for my wife and the family. You know, all the people in the dad's community, they're on Facebook group and they're the first one to comment and support another brother. And I'm like, who's checking on that guy? He's given his whole fucking energy to everybody. You know, like he doesn't have to do that. So, yeah, I know it's a bit of a left field, but I just think, you know, we got the be kind and, you know, put yourself first and oxygen mask. But I just think it comes down to is you be selfish for yourself first. And if you see someone struggling and someone said, I'm at capacity, I think you were saying that before, like be okay with, hey, mate, I can't catch up today. I'm absolutely tired. I'm okay. And then you'll learn not to do those things when you're at capacity. So when your wife wants something, your job wants something, everyone's taking a bit out of you, it's just like no's a complete sentence. Just say, no, mate, I know, babe, like, I'm not going out tonight. And then all those downloads and all that relaxation and all that time and those moments where you just go, fuck, it won't happen as much because you're at home safe. You're not behind the wheel. You're not at a stupid party you don't want to be at. So that's really practical tips of just saying no. My psychologist back in the day, she had this little, you know, that beach timer, that sand timer. So basically she had that in front of her house and then her partner looks at it and go, I'm not going to talk about this topic because like she's empty. And then if it's full, then that partner will have a conversation. I'm like, that's amazing. So instead of like having that conversation with your wife saying, hey, babe, can we talk about this? She doesn't have to say that. How good is that pressure off her when you just look at a thing and like walk in the door and you see the sand empty or low or high or low, and then you have that conversation. For me, I'm a sucker for it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm so fucking excited. Like my wife is anything good or bad, she's first to know. And when she doesn't want to like know, and I can feel it, I'm like, fuck. So I journal, I voice note, I'm Instagramming. So yeah, I think it's knowing when's the right time. You know, and these conversations are tough. I get people are going through right now. We're in a rental crisis. We're in a homelessness pandemic. There we go. So yeah, and people are in jobs they hate, relationships they don't want, but they're scared to leave. And I've been there of child divorce. and it's tough out there. It's real. Like, I take my hat off to anyone. Like, I'm no position better than anyone else. I'm going through my own stuff, but how I've kind of gotten to this point of talking so confidently about these topics is I've faced them head on. I've been in men's retreats. I've faced my demons. I sit in men's circle. I go to therapy. I face all the shit that I don't want to face, so then it doesn't go out to someone that I love, you know. So it's a forever thing. It's a forever thing of learning about yourself. But just remember that, as I said to you last night, this too shall pass. You know, when things are fucking great, they'll pass. And yeah, I think we need to have more conversations of when things are good, like celebrate your men and your women and your children in your life, but also when it's shit. We live in this world where we like fucking be happy. There's someone in Africa, they got no food. I'm like, no, you just fucking disempowered your friend down here, you know? So I see it so much when he's like, oh, I just lost a job. But that's right, bro. You get another one. I'm like, well, he just lost his job. Like, maybe not do that straight away.
That's right.
It's those little things that I've unfortunately and fortunately been through myself.
Yeah,
so I can share that.
Yeah, I had to sort of teach myself some years back now to, you know, if somebody came to me with that situation, I'd be the one that'd be like, oh, well, you know, silver linings, blah, 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 blah. But now my response would probably just be, damn, bro, that sucks. Like, let's just sit in that for a minute because it's fucking shit. Like, we don't have to jump to the advice. We don't have to jump to sort of trying to fix the problem right now. You can sit with that. You're allowed to sit with that.
I've learned that this week.
Yeah.
It's about holding space. You don't need to be the one to, what's the word I'm looking for? You just said it before about, I can't think of the word. No. You don't need to be, like if you say something and then I was just, oh yeah, that's happened to me. Right, relatable. Yeah, just got to hold space.
Yeah, that's it.
Just listen.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And so you've worked in hospitals for a long time, yeah?
Yeah.
So
out of their homes and hospitals and child safety and
okay, so run us through what it's like, because you've worked in psych wards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Run us through what it's like working in a psych ward.
Yeah. Definitely, it's not the rocking back and forth on the white jackets you see on A Beautiful Mind.
Padded room.
Yeah, padded room. They sound really fun though when you want to run into them. See, what's really cool, I worked in one that was a bit more holistic. So the parents could come on the weekends, there was barbecues, there was a herb garden. I felt like checking myself in there. I was like, this is actually really cool. You know, I was like, can I work here? And I was like, yeah, cool. And it was a place where like I ran the breathwork events and the meditations, and I was the happy-go-lucky guy that everyone would go to and talk to. And a lot of people, they would come off the streets if they're experiencing mental health, or they come from the hospitals. They have like the typical health model of the take your Valium and sit down and talk to you in 6 hours. This hospital is like a really beautiful, holistic place where you want to be. And you get the right support because the housing people are there. You got nurses are there, social workers there, all that there to support you. And you get your own room and your own shower, and it feels safe. And what I learned by that is there was people that are my dad's age, there was people younger than me, and I was just listening to them, listening to their story, listening to why they felt they needed to be there. And yeah, it was just really awesome. And I think the power of being a man is, you know, it's nice to be bravado and tough and protect, provide, all that P words. But what I know to be true as a man right now in this society is we're opening up more. And for me, it wasn't always like this, how I can express my emotions. I would sit in circle every week for 2.5 years, and I could express, you know, joy, glad, mad, sad, fear, and sit in that and talk about all that stuff. And what I did in the recovery hospitals, every morning we would check in with all our feelings. And I was like, this is amazing. It's not just your Valium, sit down and someone will see you later. Like, these people were teaching me about these life skills. I had men that were having tea and coffee with, they were cooking dinner, and there's like structure and routine. Because when you are struggling with mental health, your first thing normally is routine. You don't want to cook or clean or shower, all those things. That's what I've just observed. And yeah, he was talking about like a suicide attempt, and he was just saying like, this is where it went wrong, and this is why I'm so glad I'm here. And I'm like, isn't it so nice to talk about someone that most terrible time in their life, they can observe it from a distance because they've, had some time to think about it and got the help. They go, God, I'm glad I'm here. And then the daughter came to visit, and I cried. I cried. I was in the little waiting room, like with a little glass, because I was doing my notes and stuff. I can see them, but they couldn't see us. That was my favorite part of the job. I was like, yeah. Yeah. And then I press the thing so they can see me, and I was like, like it's not. I don't do this bullshit. Like, I'm your worker. This is the client. I'm just a human having a human experience with them. You know what I mean? And I've been there, and they go, you don't know what it's fucking like. I go, I do. So, that's why we talk about authenticity. People relate to people that have walked the walk and talk the talk. So, I loved it. And then obviously I've been a client in a mental health hospital here in Brisbane, which was very traumatic for me and my family. And I went voluntarily. And yeah, it's very different when you've worked in a holistic space and you know your rights. And it was really hard for me to drop the ego to go, fuck, I'm a client. Like, what do we do? When's breakfast? When's lunch? Who's my social worker? They go, sit down, shut up. Here's a Valiant. That's what they said. I was like,
do you think that there was that role reversal because maybe like you'd been in a space of taking on so much from other people, like it was almost like a projection of others onto you, like which kind of like brought up things for you, and that kind of exacerbated what you had going on, like underlying?
Yeah, I felt there's a part to play in that.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I know what good care is, and I know if someone was my peer support worker, then I would be feeling safe to know that he's going to do everything he can for me while I'm there to make it pleasurable. When I went there, there was empty and it was really unsafe, and I had some really bad things happen when I was there, and I felt like I was the only one wanting to get better, and everyone was banging their heads on the wall, and my undies gone through, my journal's gone through. I don't think it was locked. There's drugs happening. Yeah, I even to this day, I still think like, oh, so horrific. And some days I think about it at night. I'm like, oh, even when I drive past it, it just gives me the jeebies. Because someone actually got killed there 3 months ago. Just a guy like wanting support. He died there from another guy. So like client on client.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
That could have been me,
Yeah.
So do I think it can be better? Yes, because I've worked in it. For me, I encourage any men or women to think about making the call to the ambulance or the police if you are feeling suicidal. Actually, I want to share this bit. Really came just then. If you are experiencing police brutality or PTSD with the police, call the ambulance first, because if you are suicidal, police with a gun and a vest, they don't really have mental health training. They don't. I've got a lot of friends in the police force. They really don't, and they're sick of seeing suicides. Ambulance, they got a bit more compassion. So I'd call the ambulance if I was you. Fire is second, third, police. The ambulance will call the police if they feel unsafe. But I know to be true that if you are struggling, I'd just get the ambulance, because then they can give you an observation, and then they go, oh, maybe just take this and we'll talk to a psychologist next week, instead of you being, I don't want to say locked up, but in that hospital for 7 days until the doctor clears you. Even though you went voluntarily, you actually can't leave until the doctor clears you to be safe.
Yeah.
So if you have a family, even if you don't have a family, I'd just be very mindful, because it can be a scary place. And I get you want to get help, but there's other ways to help and heal. So that's just my lived experience and learnt experience.
Yeah. You have experience there? How was your experience there?
I was only there for about 12 hours, but the people where I were fucking amazing. They were really good. Yeah, it was down at the Brisbane, down in Chermside.
Prince Charles?
Yeah, Prince Charles. Yeah, I got checked in, and there was a guy behind the desk that came out and just sat there with me for an hour, just talked about life, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. He was just checking in, just listening, holding space. And then I was just kind of not left on my own. I was always being checked on, but I was just on the couch in a recliner, was bawling my eyes out.
Mm.
But I had people check in on me, and it was for a shit experience, it was a good experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So,
Glad you had that.
so I would go in a heartbeat if I felt like I needed to again. And I've spoken to a few other of my friends that have been in a similar spot, and they haven't quite felt the need to go. But I've definitely spoken to them and said, look, if you feel like you need to, just go. Just go. There's no judgment.
Yeah.
And the beauty of going down there is you get fast tracked with all your other shit. Yeah, like I saw a psych within a week that would usually take you months. So there's all a silver lining, and like I'm sure there's plenty of people who've had bad experiences. There was a guy there with his missus who, like I said, it took hours to be seen, and he cracked the shits and got mad at the nurses, and I was like, dude, it's not their fault, man, but he just didn't want to stay there and get that, like what you said before, they just don't want to get the help.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a bad experience, but a good experience that I got to live, open my eyes up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, but
When you're actually there and the doors are closed and you're
Yeah.
seeing things that people
I had the
only hear
option.
about.
I had the option to stay on,
Yeah.
but by the end of it, they were kind of like, "Oh, nah, if you want to stay, stay." But we think you're okay to go home. So I opted to go home because I was missing the kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was pretty upset. So I just wanted to be home around them. But the option was there is options to stay there and get the help that you need. But like you said, you have to want to
Yeah.
be helped. There's no point going there if you're go there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't want to get better, there's
Yeah.
no point staying on.
And that was the toughest bit for me is like I wanted to get help. But just the doctors were burnt out. And I get it. The mental health system is
Oh,
I don't want to say broken, but it needs resources.
it needs
Stretched.
help, mate.
Stretched.
It is
People say
stretched.
money, but the thing is, and this is what in the training again, this training is coming back to me always. It's good. The problem is the emergency. They're going for things that are not mental health related, and it can be treated by proper care. It's not just the doctor, but like getting a good counselor, getting a good psychologist. There's going to be times where you feel like you have suicidal ideation. It's very normal to have suicidal ideation. And I'll say that again. It is normal to have suicidal ideation because people go, oh, I'm fucking suicidal and I need to check myself in. You don't have to do that. Like if you're not have a plan and you're needing to go, of course you need that crisis support. But I find that when you do get unwell, your mind plays tricks on you. It does play tricks on you. And you've got to make sure you've got friends and family around you, but there's nothing wrong with getting the help. But I just think I'm trying to get this knowledge out of my brain. It's not coming, but I'm getting to the main point of make sure that you're going for the right reasons. And there's other help besides mental health hospitals and emergency. There is. And if they want to reach out to me, I've got a shit ton of research and emails and resources I can send to any of the guests that want information around Australia and Queensland, because that's what I did for years. I just was a halfway house of information because I got sick of trying to find it when I was unwell. The last thing you want to do is go on a computer and go. And that's why there's so much resource out. But then, some people are scared to make the call because it's fucking scary going, I'm not okay. What do I do?
I didn't make the call.
Yeah.
My doctor did.
Yeah.
I had an episode the night before. I knew that I wasn't acting the way I normally would. Spoke to my doctor, wrote me a referral, and he goes, go there now. And I was just like, okay, you know better. Yeah. So I went down there and so
you need it, right?
Yeah. But that's like what you.
It's
like what you said though. There's other ways. Like I said, I was going through my doctor first just to see, for help and if there's something else that needed to be done. And then he was the one that said, no, you need to go.
And when I say other ways, I don't want to leave people on an open loop. Like there's other ways around. I'm a massive advocate for sitting in a circle. It's $5-10 and you get trained by deep somatic embodied facilitators, right? And processes that can change your life if you allow it, right? It's like hypnosis. You can't get hypnotized if you don't want to get hypnotized. Because people always ask me, can you hypnotize me? I'm like, yeah, I can, but you got to want it. It's like anything. If you want success, you got to go out and get it. I can give you $1 million,
Mm.
but you'll probably lose it because you've never had money before.
Yeah.
So it's like people say they want it, but when they have it,
Challenge accepted.
yeah, that is not a real challenge. I'll give you Monopoly money.
I'll have $1 million, please.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
But no, I get really passionate because I care about mental health. But there's parts of me that I'm like, oh, I'm so sick. Are you okay day? Sick of suicide prevention day. I don't think I even posted on suicide prevention day because I do it every fucking day. I actually do so much behind the scenes that I don't need to be out glorifying going, I care about men's mental health. I fucking do. If you knew me as a person in and outside, offline, I fucking do this day in, day out. I don't just get my phone out and someone homeless. Hey, mate, it's going to be $5.
Yeah.
All right, mate, you watching? There you go. I'm not a fuckwit like that you see on TikTok, Instagram. Kids are watching that. Your kids.
right.
When Alessia fucking gets a phone, oh my God. Like, I just think do it because there's no expectation of
That's right.
return.
That's it.
And yeah, it's something I'm super passionate about because I think about what would my life be if I didn't be exposed to suicide and bullying, and what if I just became a pilot or an air stewardess or whatever. I'm like, I'd still be having conversations with, hey mate, how you going? And they're listening because I've always been so open about people's stories and I just like fucking love it. And just I use people's like power and their story and I use it for something else. And like,
I'm the same.
yeah, it's just so cool. I'm like, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then you just fucking move it. So I think there's a time and place where, yeah, those resources are out there. There's, if you don't like journaling, you don't like breath work, if you don't like men's retreats, men's circles, you don't like Lifeline, you don't like camping, you got to figure out, like, if you had 24 hours to live, what would you do? And then do more of that.
Yeah.
And I think I said on the last podcast with Ryan, One Talk, it's on my reel, it's like pinned on my Instagram, fucking massive views because it's a fucking good clip. I'm all about promoting myself. You got to. No one else will. You gotta fucking do it. No,
100%.
all jokes aside, I said, if you are struggling with any mental health or depression, anxiety, or you're just fucking feeling low, write down what you want to do and what your likes and goals and dreams, and then do more of that. And, what are we in August? I don't even know. August? Yeah. So what, 8 months into the year, people have forgotten about their goals. And I've talked about them, like, how's your 3 month goal, 6 months? Huh? Like, what's your bucket list? Huh? Do you have will? Huh? Like, we're so on autopilot. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. We fucking work stupid hours. We're stuck in traffic.
Just coast.
We are. We're fucking robots.
Autopilot.
We are a Game Boy. We're a non-player. And the people like myself, self-employed and also working in a company, I'm now going, I'm so fucking glad I'm out of that. Sitting on the fucking computer, dealing with traffic, sitting on the train, getting abused, caring, but they don't care about me. Now I can choose where I care, and choose kind of where I want to go with this lifestyle. So it's not for everyone, but I find it interesting how people go, stay in the safe job. But now I'm out of that safe job. I'm the happiest and stress-free ever. Yeah. I have no idea when money's coming in, but like it just fucking does.
There's no magic in this.
It's just so cool that when you trust yourself, shit happens like fast when you trust yourself.
Yeah.
It can be stressful too. Like I come to the point some days I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have stayed in that job for 6 more months just to
but 6 more months then turns into another 6 months and another 6 months because you're comfortable.
Same with this podcast. Like if you didn't message me, I'm like, oh, maybe August or September. Like I struggle sometimes to initiate things because, to be honest, I'm brain fatigued. I'm absolutely so focused on medication and this and bills and this and that. Like I've got Google Calendar as my virtual assistant. Like I write down everything Monday to Sunday and it works at the moment. But I've lived with my brain that doesn't switch off. It has massive dopamine and cortisol, and I'm still working through that. I've tried medication and numbed me out, and I don't want that. But how I kind of come to fruition and passionate, and when Brodie's like fucking just like lifting the empire, it's when I'm talking about this stuff, unfiltered. So I'm wanting to do more of that because I do it online, like lollies, right? Chocolate and lollies. But when I'm like going to an event and people go, have you launched a podcast yet? Have you read your book yet? have you done that retreat yet? And I'm like, my little 7-year-old boy going, you're not enough. You're dumb. You're retarded. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, look at my diplomas. I'm married. I'm a wife. Like, you know, this. But, yeah, what a beautiful segue that was. Needed to be said. But I just feel like, yeah, there's more ways to heal than going to mental health hospitals. I think best thing you said, mate, was have a good relation with your doctor. I think that's the biggest number one step. And just knowing your good friends as well. Like your friends should know when you're down and when you're happy. It's not their responsibility, but if your friends know that, then it's good to have friends that go, hey.
How does Brodie, when he's riding that massive high,
Yeah.
you know, he's on top of the world, he's fucking everything. Well, not literally everything, but he's living life.
Love this question. It's going.
Yeah. But then I don't know about you, but for me, then all of a sudden it's just like crash and burn. How do you, if you have dealt with that, and how do you get yourself back up to the winners circle, winners list, top of the list?
Skybox.
Yeah, whatever. You get my point.
Yeah, bro.
So how do you?
Amazing question.
Has that happened, and how did you get out of it?
Yeah, happens frequently. Happens frequently. Yeah, so when I'm high, like our 6-year wedding anniversary, right? I'm booking dinners. I'm in nice restaurants. I've got a buffer. I feel like I'm not living paycheck to paycheck currently. There's little things, you know, clients are coming in. I'm feeling like I'm quote unquote successful. And then I get home. Actually, no, it was actually when I finished the episode with you guys, I went home. I was on Instagram. I was fucking stuck in a straw hole for like an hour. And I was just like, I just saw everyone's accomplishments. And I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that about my mum and dad. And I shouldn't have said that about fucking the other person that I said on that podcast. And then I went in a spiral. So for me, some things that I just want to give you real talk. Like what comes to mind when I'm like down is like, I don't buy. Like I had a house, I sold it, I'm renting. I have this internal dialogue that I'm not successful because I rent, which is very incorrect, but that's just what's coming up for me. I'm still working for a company and I don't have my business yet full time. So I'm still working for a company. I'm not getting the full pay rate of if I was having more private clients. And then I go, fuck, I should have done my social work degree, like as I did 6 months in, and I just dropped out because I struggled with essays and I struggle with that. It's not my zone of genius. I know that. I can talk someone out of suicide. I can fucking do amazing other things, but me writing a stupid essay that probably won't be relevant for your job, I don't want to do that. Some days I'm not at home with my wife and I'm doing these type of things these nights. I go, oh, fuck, I should be at home. I'm not a good dad. I'm not changing more nappies. I'm not bathing more. All these impulses that I've done with Steph over the years, the debt that we've got ourselves in, the house that she didn't want to buy. And I just go, oh, fuck. And, I'm thinking if I should share this.
You don't have to.
No, they don't have to, man.
Yeah, no, it's just like.
It's up to you, man.
No. Oh, fuck it. I've been known as authentic and real, so this is going to be funny. All right, strap in. If you're eating dinner, I'd encourage you not to. So I was out at dinner at Bundaberg and I was having steak and fucking food and bread and all that shit. And I needed to go to the toilet. And you can get where this is going, right? I work with people with AIDS. I don't call it nappies. It's very disrespectful when they're 50 and they wear stuff like that. So for me, I was like, I know shit. I deal with, showering and stuff like that. So for me, I really need to go to the toilet. I'm sure we're all been there. And this is great. All my clients like, I love Brodie because he's real. He's telling us I'm fucking this. And that's just who I am. And this is going to add value. There's a story towards it. So I went to sucking BP and the lady said no toilets. I knew there was no fucking toilets. So I was like, oh, fuck, okay. And I was really turtlenecking right now. And I went down a street and so I was like, why the fuck are you going down a street? I can't just shit on a lawn. I was going to shit on a lawn. When you need to go, you need to go. So I shut myself in the car. First time. And it was degrading. I felt stupid. And Steph was laughing, like absolutely fucking laughing, right? And she's like, put the window down. I'm like, what a shitty place.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
And it was just like down my leg. Like I had jeans on, but I felt it. And that ego death, and this is why I'm sharing this, that surrender, you had to fucking go, and your woman still loves you. Like, fucking shit yourself once in your lifetime, and you'll feel this aura. I haven't tried Oscar, I haven't done wild mushrooms, but I think it's pretty close to it, to be honest, because when you know your woman, been there through my self-harm, been through my job loss, been through everything, but when you shit yourself and she's in the back and it's not about the smell, and Alessia is like, oh, fuck, that's not bad. Here. But I share this not to go, oh, but she's so 30. Like, I'm sharing, if you could be that fucking real with someone and own your shit and own it on a podcast, then you've won. You've won, guys. Because people are scared to share authenticity and realness and wins. Like, okay, I'll share another one.
Well, it's shameless living, isn't it? It's just being shameless.
It's a client wanted to work with me. We were about to sign the papers. She saw that I was a perpetrator of domestic violence, right? I've shared on my podcast. I don't hide about it. I'm not proud of it, but I did. I was in the space with Steph. I did lay hands on a woman, right? Not proud of it. I've done so much fucking work on it. It will always come back to me, and people go, "You're a piece of shit." Da, 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 da. I wasn't a safe man, right? I share this because I saw my family did it. I saw my friends did it. I didn't have a good nervous system. I was angry. I fucking snapped, and I got to the point where, yeah, my story was out there, and client's mum was, I know she was what do they call it? Like a survivor of domestic violence. And she's like, you're not supporting my son. And this, back to your question, I felt like, well, I'm just a fucking useless support worker. I try my fucking best with everybody and share my story. I be real. I don't share it to Trauma Bond. I don't share it. I've got a little bit of fear sharing with you two men about this, because people perceive it takes 20 things to like someone, right? But owning that story and talking to men about, hey, I've actually laid hands on a woman, and I haven't done it since. And the point of is like owning that fucking shame and that guilt, because if you don't own it, it will kill you. Guarantee it. Yeah. It will kill you. And it will play out in other ways. So wasn't expecting about the fucking shit yourself and me doing that DV, but it had to be said. It felt like it needed to be said. And I'm sick of hiding behind my story, because people see me and they go, oh, you're so inspirational. I do these voices. I love it. So empowering. And I'm just like, yo.
Shut up, I've been it.
I'm just like, thanks. Like, I struggle to get that feedback, because when I hear these stories, and even last week, I could have had 20 hours a week. Could have been a couple of grand in my income to, have a better life for my family. And she saw an old story of an Instagram reel. This is fucking 2 years ago. So she was scrolling hard, and she found that. And I was like, and I get it. I get why she's done it. I got no shame or guilt why she did it. But I'm like, it still makes me feel like a piece of shit that I'm not healed, or I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, we have to allow people to. We have to give people the benefit of the doubt that they can change. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't just say that people are never going to change. Like, yes, okay, some people don't.
Yeah,
and this very small and the very small minority of people probably really fuck up that ideal for the ones who do, because there's probably a lot more people out there that do change for the better. Than don't. You know what I mean? But it's because we're so hung up on the negative story or the fails in life, or we often overlook the positive stuff that happen. You just have to look at the news. Everything on the fucking news is just negative.
That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
people love it though. They just
they lap it up. They lap it up. They just fucking lap it up. But you very rarely ever hear about the good stuff. But there's probably a million times more good things happening in a day than there is fucking bad things. But people want to hear about the bad things. You know what I mean? And so
they make them that
fearmongers.
Yeah, they make them
and see that person. She scrolled past all of the good things.
Oh yeah,
and then found that one snippet of that bad thing and has manifested that into the bigger thing. When did she look at all the other good things? Yeah, and then she took that one thing and she put that on top of the fucking pedestal. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
and it hurt, because like for me, I've done so much work. Like I sat in 300 men in a retreat and said, laid hands on my wife. This was 6.5 years ago, and it was an initiation, and I felt like I was going to get fucking bashed. Like it wasn't a retreat like that, but I felt scared. Like I looked at men like in black shirts. It was dark. You know, these big fucking men. Like what they do it to fucking make you want to express shit. It's not just like tell me your deepest fears. Like so. Yeah, for me, I've sat in circle and I've talked about my relationship, my relationship with my dad, and I've seen so much. I was exposed to domestic family violence. And I want to add that piece because I didn't just randomly just snap and have that. And
So it's kind of like product of your environment.
Correct. 100%.
It's like a systemic thing.
I saw some, I won't go into detail for trigger warning, but two, I don't think it's needed. I just know that for me, the shit that I saw, I'm surprised I'm not on drugs. I'm surprised I have a job. I'm surprised I'm in a stable relationship. If you saw, you got the little health record on MyGov, you get your health record about your diagnoses and your mental health and where you've been. People saw me from 0 to 30 and go, wow, you should be dead. I've been dead many times, been revived. I've had many near-death experiences. But I think for me, the reason why I went through everything that people can find out about me and when they get to know me, there's a reason why I've gone through that. It is to share a story, but it's to be on stage and it's to talk about my story. And it's holding massive retreats and letting men know that like doesn't matter if you've had fucking 10 bad marriages, you've been through domestic violence, you've been through child abuse, you've been all this, like that's not who you are. And if you are the product of your environment. You hang around 4 drug dealers, you'll be the 5th. 4 millionaires, you'll be the 5th. It's fucking common knowledge. People go, that's not true, but it fucking is. Like I've literally last 3 weeks, I've been manifesting and just hanging around wealthy people and listening to podcasts and just doing little upgrades in my life and learning about investments. And I've just realized there's so many patterns of where I was in my past and now where I am to where I can build a better future for my family. And it only came to now because I've got a family and I've got to provide. It's not just me anymore. So if I lose a job, like impacts Alessia, will she get nappies? Will she get food? Same with Steph. So there's a reason why I went through it. And my mate, we were talking as we do every Monday, and we talked about some deep, dark shit, and we just love it. We just problem solve the world. So, yeah, it's good to have a friend like that. And we're talking about like girls, getting sexually assaulted and abused. And it's just like, I don't actually, and this could be trigger warning or you get heightened, do listen with your own best knowledge of how you're going to deal with this. But I'm not going to tippy-toe about it. But for me, the people that do go through that stuff, I don't think it happened at coincidence. I actually think it happens for a reason. I think everything that people have gone through is a fucking reason. And the people that have been through sexual assault and domestic violence, they now got domestic violence shelters now because of that one person. That Ryan's rule, because of that dead son of Ryan, now people speak up and get help. That Jack guy that got stabbed, now police can search anyone without a warrant with a knife. I'm looking at those things and I think like that in my brain. It's like, in order to get results, we've got to have pain and we've got to have sacrifice, and war, you've got to lose something to get something. Yeah. For me, I talk about this. I've done domestic family violence, sexual assault training, and I've spoken in schools, and I've had so much better response by the women and also men. They're like, holy shit, like you're actually doing the work and you've been a safe man. And I've, ever since that relationship with Steph, we're thriving now because I owned my shit. I said I wasn't a safe man, and like we did so much work together, couples therapy to women's retreat, men's retreat. We're fucking strong, and it's possible that you can have that if you want that. Yeah. So easy. I fucking hate when people drink and then they go, oh, I just didn't mean to. I'm just like, no, the alcohol makes you want to be your authentic self. It actually does, in my opinion. So if you cheat, you really wanted to cheat. If you hit your partner, you just really would just wanted the confidence to do it. And I say this not jokingly, not like I say this confidently knowing that it happens because I see it in my job.
Yeah.
So quite a lot there to unpack and process. But for me, there is better ways to be a better man. And there's also women have got to be accountable for their own actions too. Yeah, when they do things to men as well. So that's right. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not fucking going both fences. I am not dealing with that. No. But I'm staying on the fence. Yeah. Safety.
For sure, man, for sure. And
Just
so
be kind, be real, and just be you.
yeah. And so where does the future, what's the future of Brodie look like? And what's the future of Brodie, the wellness guy, look like? Where are we going? Where are you heading? You know?
And then just Brodie.
Yeah, I love that because I'm not just the wellness guy. I love people seeing me like, and no, I like that as well because that's my personal brand, like the Brodie wellness guy.
Yeah.
That's
what I was more talking about.
Yeah.
Your
No,
business.
it's
your
both
business
ways as
model.
well. The reason why I mentioned that, mate, is because people only see me as this some fucking avatar that just doesn't stop, always works, post, always there for someone. But I'm not because sometimes I'm down and I need to see a therapist.
That's right.
And I, share my embarrassing stories and confronting stories on a podcast.
It's all right, bro. I've shit myself too. So
Yeah. But then I had to.
Close.
But you know what? I had to go to my grandma's house and do the waddle. It was just,
The penguin walk.
yeah.
I was pretty high, and my mate laughed, and he'll still bring it up. Yeah, he will still bring it
Steph,
up.
we did it today. We're eating the cake. She's like, "Gonna shit yourself?" And we got 2 toilets. So I might.
Yeah, that's
We
it.
might need to get a third toilet.
Well, that's it. She's accepted you for doing it. So what's another time?
That's right. That's right.
Brodie Wellness Guy. Honestly, I'm happy where it's at the moment. Like I'm really in the swing of things about posting what I do during the day. It's not about others. It's about my accountability, about what I'm done and reminding myself of who I am and why I do what I do. I ran a men's circle, did it for a year and a half. Just didn't feel aligned with me anymore. I know it's a very spiritual bypassing word, but I just didn't feel I could give 2 hours every week. I brought in special guests, like big fucking special guests. And 4 people showed up. And then I put a bit of money in there just to pay for my Zoom and, keep lights on and stuff like that. People were bartering. I'm like, I'm very good at what I do and know what I can do, and I hold space really well, but I'm not a charity. So I'm not St. Vincent de Paul's. I need money. So for me, I got to the point where I'm like, this is too fucking stressful. And it was. And I just fell out of love of coaching. So I stopped my coaching. I had a business called Anything and Everything Life Coaching. And I did men's relationship coaching, hypnosis, like emotional change techniques, so kind of like timeline therapy, like take men to like where they were 7 and clear up all the anger, guilt, shame and stuff. Did all that. Now I do it for fun. Like not fun, it's not fun, but I do it for people that generally fucking need it, and I'll just do it just for a smile and a better life. I don't share these things. People don't really know that I do that type of work before, but I used to run like breathwork events and cacao ceremonies and really cool retreats, like vision board workshops. So for me, the wellness guy is just Brodie showing up. So when my business thrives and I do have my other charities, I'll still have Brodie.wellness guy. Still that bad photo that's not edited, wrong caption, doesn't make sense, because that's me. And people know me from selling supplements on Juice Plus, essential oils and doTERRA, both network marketing. Made not much money, but I just kept showing up every day. But the funny thing is, as soon as I stopped posting about Juice Plus, doTERRA, men's coaching, posted about who I am, people loved it. People bought me, had like 300 views on my stories. I used to have 10, now I got 300. People, either they want to see me win, fail, or I got nothing else to do with their life, which could be all 3. And I just go like, what the fuck? This is wild. Like I generally love sharing my shit on socials. And for me, that you might have seen it, day 8/365, I fucked up. I failed. That's okay. First attempt in learning, fail. First attempt in learning.
There's no such thing as failure. I mean, I personally don't believe in failure.
Setbacks, yeah.
I mean,
whatever word you want to make it mean, you feel comfortable with.
If you're trying,
yeah,
you're not failing.
Yeah.
Like it's a form of success if you're trying.
Yeah.
Because, I
was in a hospital with a shoulder injury. I wanted to do my 30 minutes of movement and the doctor's like, do not move. And I'm like, but the Instagram. No, don't.
Yeah.
What do you know, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your PhD.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Pretty huge dingus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt for me like Brodie.
Shit. Sorry, Dino.
Full mate. Easy.
Brodie.wellness guy is just posting content, collaborating with you guys, podcasts. Will I get a book, podcast? Not sure. Right now, my life's very full, and I know that. And that's the question back to you is like knowing where my capacity is and knowing like when to look after Brodie. Like this actually fills up my cup. Talking about shitting myself, DV, suicide. Weird. It does because it's that awareness of that conversation starter.
Yeah.
So I've had a really tough week with clients in hospital. Working the NDIS, it's scary. Client leaves, you've got no income.
Yeah.
And you can promote yourself on Facebook. You can think you're a really great guy, but then someone looks through your Instagram 2 years ago and see that you know, it makes you go, well, fuck it. I'll just work in the bank or I'll get a quote unquote safe job. So I won't stop until I take my last breath, but it's really hard working in space when you are who you are and when you feel like you've just stripped all the layers and then people go, but didn't you do this or didn't you do
The
that?
thing is, you could easily fucking delete these things.
True.
No, but I'm saying, but it's you know, it was you. Well, not.
It's part of your story.
Yeah, it was part of your story.
What Steph said, like archive it. I'll archive it, but I felt like it was doing myself a disservice if I just deleted it.
Of course.
Because when I do like get on podcasts and I've done speaking gigs, I talk about I talk more in depth about who I am and what I do, obviously because I get more time and I read the room. You know, if there's all women there and they've talked about, you know, child abuse and mental health, I probably won't bring in that type of stuff. You just got to pick your audience.
Yeah.
But I'm so fucking proud of Brodie of how far he's come from, you know, hence the tattoos, be here now, that semicolon is my story's not over. And I'm super proud that I continue to do this work. And no one needs to do a course to be healed. No one needs to do anything. It's figuring out, can you love yourself in all of it? And I think what I know to be true with some mentors that I used to, you know, work with and embody their, you know, archetypes and holographics and business models is, you know, and a shout out to Cody, is like, you know, the perfect whole complete. Like, we're all fucking perfect whole and complete. Of course, it's easy to rip yourself going, I'm a bad dad and I don't have this and I don't have that, because where are you basing, like, who told you that? And I love doing this to people, and that's really hard for me because when people catch up with me, they go, he's going to coach you. He's going to coach you. You're fucked. I wouldn't catch up with him. Maybe that's why I don't have many friends, because I go, what's under that? And for what purpose are you doing that? And then you say to me, I can't do this marathon. But who told you that? You know, oh, my grandma at 10 years old. Well, fuck that. Like, it's like that roast pork analogy. Oh, Dad, why do you cut the bit of the roast pork? Oh, because grandma's oven didn't have that bit. But we got big fucking ovens now. So you don't cut the fucking pork. Put the motherfucker in.
Yeah.
So question for you viewers, are you holding on to these values and beliefs from other people? And if not, great. If you are, then challenge yourself and look within, because you'll have a better quality of life. I guarantee you'll have a better quality of life if you challenge why you are, you know, why you are snapping more. Why are you more anxious when you see something? And when you get triggered, it's a perfect example. I'm not going, fuck you. It's going within and going, okay, why do I get triggered at this certain moment, this certain time, this smell? Because then you can change that. But all us being dads, realizing that they're just reflections. And I'm honestly scared when she gets older, there's going to be some things that are going to come through, and I'm okay because I've got amazing tools and resources behind me and community. But if I don't heal the stuff that I went through, I've healed now. For sure I've healed now for what I've been through. But if I didn't, she would have seen a very ugly side of me. And I'm glad. And that's why Alessia didn't come until I did all this stuff. We were trying for 10 years. 2 miscarriages. And we finally happened when I just lost my job. And something else happened. And the universe is like, yep, financially ready, no job, mentally a little bit fucking unstable.
Bang.
Bang.
Yeah.
Pregnant. I'm like,
Here you go.
let's go.
Get your life in a gear.
Centrelink. What do we got?
Yeah.
Jokes aside, don't do that. But yeah, no, I think it's about feeling safe, feel safe with you, man. Like, it's the space of, many men don't have that safety piece of sharing, hey, I fucking did this, or I feel like I want to cheat. And then you got men going, okay, well, if you did that, you know, you'll have fucking good 10 minutes with that 20-year-old, but what about 20 years with fucking Pamela over there? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and that's the thing of, it's easy. We all have temptations of quitting our job and going to Barbados or fucking doing all these things. It's very normal, but it comes down to your purpose as a man to figure out what your purpose is. It doesn't have to be a woman or a job, because if you lose your woman, you lose your job, you're fucked. I talk to a lot of people going, make sure that your purpose is not that. Your purpose has got to be something like, for me, I want men to feel safe, seen, and loved. Everything that I never got, right? Until I found it within myself. Because if I hate myself and you say, hey, bro, I love you, fucking doing your amazing shit, your fucking mindset, your work ethic, I'm so proud of you, I love you, you're fucking epic. But if I think I'm a piece of shit and I fucking hate myself, I didn't hear any of the words you just said. I just think I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So the ability to love on others is the ability to receive. And I'm saying all this mumbo jumbo, you probably don't know what the fuck's this. But it's true because I would get compliments, but I'd be like, yeah, love you too. Proud of you too. Like I wouldn't fucking let you finish. I'm proud of you. Like, you too, Tim. Like it's like some fucking competition, you know? And like even the dad's community, I went to the barbecue, I was like, if Steve wasn't there, I'm like, where's these fucking real talk, no bull? I'm like, where's these fucking people? I'm like, I get nervous too. Like I share my story with 300,000 people. Like imagine 3,500 people right here.
Yeah.
Like they're following me and they're right fucking here. I think I've got no audience and I'm like, that's a fucking
You
stadium.
just looked at them all and you said, I shat myself.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking
I
much.
shat myself.
This is the first time I told this besides Steph. So
There you go. You got the inside scoop.
I'm going to fucking share this podcast to the masses.
Yeah, well, we've only got
sorry about the viewers if it goes down. Okay,
We've only got 128 subscribers.
you're
maybe
fine, mate.
127.
You're fine.
Can you imagine it's like 20,000? I'm like, oh
dude.
no,
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
proud
shit
of you.
If that happens, I'll shit myself on camera.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, and so I guess just as we're sort of wrapping it up,
Yeah.
if the episode was triggering for anybody out there, rattle off a list of services that people can reach out to.
Yeah. We'll share again, like on an email or like
Yeah,
we'll
we'll put it-
as
we'll
well.
put it on
But, like
We'll put it in the
what my
description.
knowledge is, I love Kids Helpline. I've used it a lot, and I think they're an incredible organization. I remember having like a trained psychologist worked for the military. We did like 2-hour calls for weeks and weeks and weeks. I remember with Lifeline, you can have like 6 sessions with like a trained person. I think it might have changed now, but you know when you speak to someone, you don't get the same person.
Yeah.
If you're someone that has social anxiety or you don't like speaking about your problems and you just rather be on a computer, there's a text service. So I think that's really fantastic for people with social anxiety and struggling, especially if like the kids are there or your wife thinks you're really bravado and you got your shit together and you call a Lifeline. She probably thinks you're cheating. You're in the car. Like, hello. Like those things are real and this is what people face. So this is what I've personally used. I'm only sharing because what I've used. I don't want to give shit that I might not be good. So like Lifeline, Kids Helpline, the suicide callback service is fantastic. They actually have, so if you're going through suicidation or suicide crisis, it's not even just about you. Like say for example, your friend is going through something, you can actually get sessions as well to cope with that. Because what, like honestly, and I wish people could like answer this question back to me. They probably will when they're driving in the car. They're like, I fucking told you. When someone is killing themselves or wanting to kill themselves, you feel like a piece of shit. I don't know why our human psyche does, but if one of your brothers said, I'm about to kill myself, you're like, but why, bro? Like you got this and you got that, you got this, you got that. You're fucking having like a dance off. Like you're thinking about them. They don't fucking want that. Like it takes balls and courage to go, hey, I'm not doing okay. And it's so easy to go when you've done the work and you do this for a living. I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to do this more. I want to help people. I want to do this. So, yeah, I think getting a really good GP, psychologist, face-to-face, and just pique your interest about what free events around Brisbane or where you live of connection groups and sharing circles. I think I can't stress enough how important it is, especially for men because we're in the men's space, to sit in a circle. You don't even have to talk. You can just listen. You don't have to share if you don't feel comfortable. That's the best part. And what I've learned in 3 years sitting in men's circle more than any therapy that I've been to. And I love therapy. So that's saying something. So it's all good about talk therapy and talk about it. But it's time where you do actions. And that's when you go in the mat and you do processes. I can't share the detail of what goes in. You have to do it yourself. But it helped me be a safe man, a loving man. So that pretty much wraps up how powerful those processes are.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice. Oh, well, thanks for coming on,
man,
bro.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's been great, bro. It's been great. I'm glad I'm glad Dean didn't interject at any point there.
Every time he moved, he was like, Dean.
That meant that it went smooth.
Every little bit of movement, I was like,
But yeah. So if you like what we do, remember, subscribe, like, share, comment.
Or else.
Do all those things. And
or else I'll shoot myself next time.
We'll see you on episode 15. Peace out.
Boom.
Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.